Hello, my friends, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Daily. My name is Aaron Machbitz. WrestleMania season is officially upon us. This is the best season of the year for all professional wrestling fans. And this year, we have WrestleMania 41, which is taking place in Las Vegas on April 19th and April 20th. And WrestleMania is the Super Bowl of professional wrestling, or maybe the Super Bowl is the WrestleMania of football. Whatever, maybe that's confusing, but you get my point. WrestleMania is the biggest entertainment spectacle of the year, and every single superstar is vying for those marquee main event matchups. And we're going to discuss some of them here, but I also want to tell you what Triple H said about the main event and the WrestleMania card directly. He says the main event of WrestleMania 41 is already penciled in. Let me tell you what he said directly. This is what Triple H said. Yes, with an asterisk. I cannot tell you what happens between today and Las Vegas. People get hurt. You get a phone call. Have you ever considered doing this with me? Oh, that's an amazing opportunity. Maybe we go in a different direction. Sometimes you start to go down the road with a storyline and it's not resonating the way I thought it would. Maybe this would be bigger. We had a card for WrestleMania loosely written out in October, and that's morphed a lot. We're sort of sitting down on a regular basis weekly and telling and talking about what we do and what we believe the shift is, where we see the shift happening and what we need to move around. Can I say I have something penciled in? Yes. Do I think it will stay? I think, but I'm not sure. That's exactly what Triple H said about the main event or the card for WrestleMania. So yes, they have an idea. They know what direction they want to go in for the main event and for the card, but things change. People get hurt. I mean, you look at WrestleMania 40 last year, I think CM Punk was supposed to be a big part of that card, and then at the Royal Rumble, he gets injured. So that makes it very interesting in the WrestleMania season because injuries happen, things happen, and The Rock's current status for WrestleMania isn't yet clear, and his intentions could potentially have a sizable impact on the card. I personally think The Rock will absolutely be at WrestleMania, but you never know. He has a lot of stuff going on, so he could miss this one and go to WrestleMania 42. But since we saw that weird promo he gave at the debut show on Netflix, I think he's sort of slow burning this idea of potentially it being The Rock versus Cody Rhodes, because they were in this heated feud, like really heated, like really strong all-time sort of feud. The Rock was at his peak. Cody Rhodes was an amazing babyface doing great stuff. And then he cuts that weird corporate Netflix promo on the debut show on Netflix, and they were hugging and sharing tequila. And so what sort of slow burn, what sort of process are we going through here to allow The Rock to step back into that heel persona? And so him and Cody Rhodes can have an absolutely massive WrestleMania match. A potential rumor for how that might work is, since John Cena has penciled himself in for the Royal Rumble along with CM Punk, you have John Cena enter very, very early in the Royal Rumble, have him last the whole time, almost basically is about to win. He dumps the last guy over. All 30 entrants are in. Oh my God, everyone's going nuts. They're finally going to get to see their hero, John Cena, go to WrestleMania and potentially win his 17th world title, which would be incredible. Then, boom, the final boss, music hits. The Rock, entrance, number 31. Boom. He throws a just tired, exhausted, beat up John Cena over the top rope. Now The Rock has officially won the Royal Rumble using his corporate power. Now The Rock is going to WrestleMania, and he's not going to face Gunther. He's going to face Cody Rhodes, and that creates more heat for The Rock because now he's just destroyed the dreams of the best babyface that WWE has ever had in John Cena, and now he's decided ultimately that he's going to WrestleMania to take the championship away from Cody Rhodes. I think that gets his heat back. I think that elevates John Cena a little bit more in terms of now we really want to see it. Where are we going to see it? He didn't win at Royal Rumble. Is he going to maybe win at Elimination Chamber? How's he going to get a championship match? What's he going to do to claw his way back up? That's the story. You can't just give everything everyone wants right away. That's not story. That's not narrative. That's not drawing people into what potentially might happen. And so I think that's a possibility for Royal Rumble. It's also a possibility that that The Rock doesn't even show up at the Royal Rumble, because we know CM Punk is going to be there. We know John Cena is going to be there. I think potentially Randy Orton is going to return, but I don't know if he's going to return in the Royal Rumble match. I think he's more concerned with Kevin Owens. So we have Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens in a ladder match at the Royal Rumble. I think Randy Orton returns, costs Kevin Owens, so then Cody Rhodes can move on to his WrestleMania feud and opponent, potentially The Rock, potentially John Cena, potentially Seth Rollins, potentially any of these sort of people that might be feuding for him for that, number one championship in WWE. And then you have what will be a fantastic feud and a marquee matchup going into WrestleMania will be Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. So I think that's a potential there too. You might see a potential Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair return in the Royal Rumble match, so they can also punch their ticket to WrestleMania, because we have two new women's champions in Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton, who I believe will take those straps all the way to WrestleMania and probably lose them at Mania. Maybe one will win, one will lose, but those will both be marquee matchups, those stellar athletes and stellar competitors at WrestleMania against two other marquee competitors, in whatever sort of storyline they are going to get into with those people. And I'll make some predictions here about WrestleMania moving forward. So recent rumors suggest that the two blockbuster matches are penciled in for WrestleMania 41 are Reigns versus Punk and Rhodes versus John Cena. I'm all in for Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. All in. Love that. Think it's great. Rhodes versus John Cena, not really into it. I have some other ideas and predictions that maybe these aren't predictions, maybe these are just hopeful ideas that hopefully happen at WrestleMania, because I think there would be amazing marquee matchups that would bring out the best in all of the athletes. And so marquee matchups for night one, what I have is, I mentioned this a little bit ago, but steel cage match between Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. That's huge. That's a marquee matchup. Then I think we run it back with Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, because I don't really know what storyline Seth Rollins will be interjected in, who he'll be feuding with. If he's for a championship, if he's in a tag match, an Intercontinental, United States, in a different feud, a triple threat. But I think having them run it back with CM Punk, where CM Punk has back-to-back matches on WrestleMania of big marquee matchups, not championships, so he's not winning the Royal Rumble, but big-time matchups with big-time feels. I think Seth Rollins versus CM Punk could be really great at WrestleMania, and they finally get those WrestleMania moments. And then I mentioned Tiffany Stratton. She's incredible. I think she faces Charlotte Flair. And I do think Charlotte Flair wins that match, but I think that's, the biggest match that the women's division can offer. Tiffany Stratton, an absolute stud, has a lot of similarities in terms of athleticism and charisma to Charlotte Flair, and I think that's a fantastic match that we would love to see. And then the main event of night one, I want to see the World Heavyweight Championship defended, Gunther versus John Cena, where Gunther wins. Gunther wins. He elevates himself to absolute top status. So now John Cena has not won the Royal Rumble. He's done something at Elimination Chamber to claw himself back into the World Heavyweight Championship match, where he gets to face Gunther. Then he loses. We don't give the people what they want. He loses. Gunther elevates himself to just absolute top tier, like main event, I'm the man status. And then later on, John Cena potentially wins that match. So I see those matchups as the marquee matchups for night one. And then we get into the marquee matchups for night two. We have probably the biggest match, which probably is penciled in, which is Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. Now, it'll be telling to see if they actually want CM Punk to wrestle back-to-back nights. He is getting old. I do think he's lost a step. He looked a little slow in his main event match versus Seth Rollins. So I don't know if both matches will happen, but I was racking my brain trying to think about, you have to have Seth Rollins and you have to have Drew McIntyre in marquee matchups at WrestleMania. These are your two best freaking superstars on the roster. And you absolutely have to have them in marquee matchups. So I was trying to think about what to do, but I'm not WWE creative, so I don't have to destroy my brain about it. But you have Roman Reigns versus CM Punk, and then, like I mentioned, Rhea Ripley, new champion. She's going to defend against Bianca Belair. I think Bianca Belair wins that match and becomes champion. That's going to be an incredible match. Two absolutely freaking stud athletes getting after it in the middle of the ring on WrestleMania Night 2 will be incredible. And then I think the main event for night two is WWE Championship match, Cody Rhodes versus The Rock. Huge match, a lot of things happening. I don't think The Rock wins. I think Cody Rhodes finally wins, and The Rock and Cody Rhodes are done. And then The Rock, the rest of 2025 and maybe into WrestleMania 42, goes back into the family drama. And then at WrestleMania 42, we finally have The Rock versus Roman Reigns, and that sort of maybe ends The Rock's historied career and elevates again Roman Reigns, and also Cody Rhodes now can move on to other people and potentially different feuds. And so I think those are some matchups that we're going to see at WrestleMania. Those are my predictions. Maybe not predictions, but maybe I think hopefully might happen. But there's tons of stuff that could happen. And like Triple H said, the main event of WrestleMania 41 is penciled in. So we'll see what it is, and we'll just enjoy the ride of WrestleMania season and see how it all goes. But thanks for tuning in. See you guys next time. Cheers.